Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Hope you're well. So today we're going to talk about wealth creation. Um, First and foremost, everybody does not want this, so you're not in competition with anyone. So that is the first step, is to desire it. And like I said, everyone does not desire it. This is not important to everyone. So different people have different things that are important to them. So I'm going to talk about the foundation of wealth building, something we should have been taught in school, but we're not taught in school because they don't want you to know, right? But there are people taking steps to actually get it into the school system. And by steps, I mean dealing with legislatures. So there are people actually working on this, like they care about the uh, the generations coming up behind them. Okay, so building wealth. So wealthy people, what do wealthy people do? The main difference between wealthy people and poor people is that wealthy people buy assets. So, what are assets? Assets are things that put money into your pocket. So, that is investing, being in the stock market. Some people are afraid of the stock market. And if that is you, check out the book that I have in my link. I have a book that directly talks to people who have hesitation about being in the stock market. Um, Based on the things that you hear on media, they're talking about crash market is is a crash coming. So if you're hesitant about investing in the stock market, I want you to check out a book that I have uh, in my link. All right, so that is one asset, is investing in the stock market. When you invest in the stock market, what you're actually doing is you are investing in other businesses. So you own a share of that business. For example, Amazon, Google, Apple, things like that. So you become a part owner. So investing in the stock market. If you're not in the stock market, I do have a course. Check that out, especially if you're not in the stock market. It's important to get in there. All right. Something should have been in there 30 years ago. Actually, you don't have to be rich to invest. If you had started at the age of 21, putting in as little as $100 a month, by 66, you would be a millionaire. That's with $100 a month. So this is compounding like around 10%, 7 to 10%. So it's important to learn how to invest if you're not investing. So that is one area that is very important to building wealth. That is one asset class. So another asset class, real estate. And by real estate, I mean building an actual real estate portfolio where you are either buying multiple properties or you have a couple of properties and you're doing things like Airbnb or midterm rental, short-term rental type things, right? So you may have heard a lot about the Airbnb space, where there are cities that are actually banning Airbnbs, but there are other alternative types of ways to do short-term investing. So learning about real estate, building a real estate portfolio, very important. You build wealth there through cash flow. So some people like real estate because they know that the real estate is always going to be there. They know that people always want a place to live, and they're getting the actual cash flow from the renter. So things like Section 8 is guaranteed rent. Other types of things are not guaranteed. Um, So, you have to screen your tenants very well and make sure that you get a paying tenant in there, because you've heard of people that, squatters, for example, their plan is to move in, not pay, move out to a different location, and do the same thing over and over again. So, very important to screen the tenants very well. And then, think of programs like Section 8, for example, if you're interested in that. So, real estate, building a real estate portfolio. That is another asset class. Very important. Then another asset class is business. So you could focus on buying businesses. Um, there's a lady out there. She's on YouTube. I'm trying to get her on the channel. She buys businesses. Examples being things like laundromats, for example, car washes, for example. Um, there's a whole different array of businesses that are already there. And what happens is people own the business and they're ready to retire. So they're trying to sell it. And so you as a new person would come in, take over, buy the business, learn the business, and you're getting profit from this business. So you can either buy a business that is already created or creating your own business. So people are creating their own businesses as well. So business. So that is another asset class. You could do things like investing in startups. If anyone watching me is investing in startups currently, reach out to me. I would like to have you on the show. If you invest in startups right now, reach out to me. All right. So those are the major assets. When you think of assets, you think of stocks, real estate, and business, and that is how you build your wealth. Now, also, Bitcoin is getting a lot of bad news, right? Bitcoin in the media. Um, but there are people who are still buying Bitcoin. They still believe in Bitcoin and they're buying it behind the scenes. So that is another option. As you know, Bitcoin, you have to be very careful when it comes to where you are storing it. So you're not going to store it on an exchange that's just going to disappear out of thin air. So being very careful where you actually store this Bitcoin, learning that whole process of a cold wallet, you know, so not putting it just somewhere where it just disappears out of thin air. So that is something that some people are doing and secretly building wealth behind the scenes by still investing in Bitcoin, only putting in what they are willing to lose. Because as you know, it has a lot of negative press right now, but it still does have a very high growth potential. So that's something you would do at your own risk, only with money that you're willing to lose. Right? Um, Also, gold, silver, uh, things like that. So when it comes to wealth, it's important to just try different things. Try different things, kind of like a trial and error until you figure out what works. Because what happens is when people find out what works, they're not just going to hand it over to you. They're not going to tell you. They're going to let you figure it out on your own. So just try things and keep trying until you figure out what works. But you do have the foundation, and the foundation is assets. Stocks is important. Real estate is important. And business is important. So you do have the foundation. And then also, when it comes to building wealth, it's important to stay away from the get rich quick schemes because they are out here. They're still out here. There are still people out here selling you a pipe dream, right? Now, becoming a millionaire is not a pipe dream, as you know. People who are already millionaires think that being a millionaire is not a lot of money. So, but there are get rich quick schemes out here. And what that looks like is you're only one door away. So just be careful of that. If it looks like it's too good to be true, if it sounds like it's too good to be true, like you're going to buy this thing and then you're going to be rich, like right away, just be careful of that, okay? So don't say I didn't tell you. There's still scammers out here, right? Okay, so if you like the channel, do me a favor, hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber and notification bell next to it so that you won't miss the episode. And before you leave, don't forget, hit the like button. What that does is it helps other people to see the channel. It helps the channel to grow. I have about 621 subscribers and I am trying to get to 1,000. So help me get to 1,000 and you can help me by hitting that like button. So I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. The like button. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your nights.